Hey guys, Jabber Game Jaws here, coming to you with another episode. So I have a slight confession to make. The truth is, I have actually sold my complete North American Wii U set. It was a sad thing. It was very hard to do. It was a hard decision to make. It's something I've been wrestling with for quite a while. There were multiple reasons. One is that I wanted some extra money, and one is that there were some other things that I wanted collection-wise that I couldn't justify just buying outright right now. And it was kind of nice to just kind of shuffle things in my collection a little bit. And then I used some of the money just to kind of like get caught up on like household things, bills and whatnot. But there's a lot of other things that I could have sold instead of my Wii U. So the decision to sell the Wii U collection, there were a lot of factors going into it. Now, I kind of would like to go back a little bit further. So what inspired me to collect the Wii U in the first place? I loved the Wii U from the very first time that I saw it. The very first time that I was walking through Best Buy and Mario Kart 8 was playing at the kiosk, and this would have been like middle of 2014. So that's how long ago that was. That was like, what, 11 years ago at this point? It's crazy how old that game is, Mario Kart 8, you know? And that would have been like 4 years before it ever came to the Switch, at least. I mean, the Switch didn't even launch until 2017, so it's just crazy how long people who owned the Wii U were playing so many of the games that people came to love eventually on the Switch. I always thought that people were missing out when it came to the Wii U. The Wii U was never super popular, and I wasn't even a crazy Nintendo fan. Like, that's the crazy thing. Like, growing up, like, I wasn't a Nintendo guy. Like, my family had a Sega Genesis. I bought a PlayStation 1. I went from that point to buy PS2. I had a Game Boy Pocket. That was like my one Nintendo thing that I actually owned. I did enjoy Nintendo stuff at friends' houses, whatnot, but it wasn't like I was a crazy Nintendo enthusiast or anything. So for me to just randomly be walking through Best Buy and see a Nintendo console and see Mario Kart and be like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Like, I have to have it. The way that the carts were swooping around, the graphics were beautiful. I really liked the gamepad. I thought it was like super comfortable. So I was totally taken with the console at the time. I didn't buy it at the time. I didn't have the money for it. So, but it definitely like left an impact in my head. At the time too, I was like, well, I really want to get a PS4 before I would get a Wii U, you know, so soon after that, I did buy a PS4, and the Wii U still stuck with me though. So fast forward again, maybe just like a few months later, it couldn't have been very much longer, and my wife and I were walking around the mall, and I stopped at GameStop. They had another Wii U at the kiosk, and they were playing Super Mario World. Now, my wife actually did grow up with the original NES, and she played the Super NES a lot at her friend's house, and she's a humongous Mario fan. So I got her, and I was like, oh my gosh, you have to try this out. So we both go to GameStop, and we're sitting there playing the Wii U, playing Mario World, Mario 3D World or whatever. And again, like, both of us are completely blown away by it. And I'm like, this is so stinking awesome. So again, we didn't buy the console at that point, but I really loved it and I wanted it. And I just thought, man, there's so much fun on there. Plus, I knew how much my wife would enjoy it. And I was like, man, this is like gaming that we could do together. So I thought that would be like super, super fun. So fast forward, at that point, we were actually living in Michigan. We moved to Pennsylvania to be by her family. And then soon after moving to Pennsylvania in late 2015, there was a Thanksgiving where her family was all going to be at their house, you know, so like that actually gave me the inspiration to go out and buy a Wii U with Mario Kart and 4 controllers. We had so much fun. This is like 2015, playing Mario Kart on the Wii U. Everybody's like, this is amazing, this is incredible. My brother-in-law was like, I love this. He went home and bought a Wii U for them, like right then and there. Like, that's how much we loved the Wii U. And I also felt like, why is this console not more popular? This thing is so awesome. And there were so many good games like from that point that came out, like so many amazing experiences that we just loved. And you can tell how good of games they are because just about every single one of them eventually got ported to the Switch and sold like buku numbers, and people go crazy for those same games. I mean, it's just like amazing how the games were super quality and people just didn't know and didn't care and just were like oblivious to the Wii U. Now, people do talk about, like the marketing being bad for the Wii U and like, the name being bad and all of that. To those people, I just have to say, okay, that's all true. And at the same time, like, I wasn't a Nintendo fan, and all I did was walk through Best Buy and then walk through GameStop again. And it took me about 30 seconds to realize this thing was the absolute shit. So, take that, with you however you can. I'm like, people too easily want to like brush all of the responsibility onto Nintendo and not realize that gamers completely dropped the ball when it came to the Wii U. Like, anybody who had their eye half open should have known that the Wii U was really good. Because I did. I certainly did. It's like, first time I played it, I was like, this is the shit. This is awesome. Mario Kart 8 is the shit. Okay, Mario 3D World is awesome. This is amazing. Yeah, need this. Absolutely. So fast forward, collecting complete sets was a very big deal at the time. When I first made the decision to get a complete Wii U set, I was actually like toying between getting a full Dreamcast set or a Wii U set. The Wii U set I was kind of like at the exact perfect time to do it, because the games were brand new out and not popular, and I could still find them everywhere, and I was finding games for like $8 a piece at GameStop. It's like I could find them at GameStop. That was so nice. So I went through the whole process, and there wasn't like a big rush. I was able to do it very slowly. It took me probably like 4 years to complete the Wii U set, which is saying something because, it's only 160 some games, like 164, 66, something like that. There's a little bit of ambiguity with the set because there were some releases that were a little strange, like the Mario. There was a Mario and Luigi release, and then there was a green variant that had just Luigi, and then there was a regular variant that had just the Mario game. So it's like, do you count this as 3 games or as 1 game? Because technically the one in the middle has like all of them. So, there were like little differences like that, but essentially it was 160 some games. It's not a ton. So I did take my time. It was such a fun thing to collect because there was no rush. There wasn't even a lot of competition. Like, it was at the right time. One thing that, since completing it in 2021, and even somewhat before then, it started to become tougher to be excited about the Wii U set because so many of the exclusives were getting ported to the Switch. And I don't fault Nintendo for doing that, and there's the part of me that like just loves the games, and I'm thankful that they found an audience on the Switch. And I do love my Switch now. I had a very hard time warming up to the Switch because I love the Wii U so much, and it was really hard for me to see like so many of the games that I love just getting like pilfered. Plus, like, the Switch was only offering me ports of games that I had already been playing for like 3 years, at the time, 3 or 4 years. So it was like, it felt like complete crap. Not to mention, day one, the big reason that people wanted to get the Switch was for Breath of the Wild. Well, I got the Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, and it was great. And I was like, yeah, I can spend $60 or I can spend $360. And it's like, why would I do that? So, but something really hit me. I think, there was a couple of exclusives left. And the last one that went really, really just kind of like knocked the wind out of my sails, and that was Xenoblade Chronicles X. And I'm glad that the game got ported to the Switch. I am honestly actually glad that it did happen. Like, I'm glad that Mario 3D World got ported. I'm glad that Mario Kart 8 got ported. I'm glad that Pikmin 3 got ported. I'm glad that, just all of the games that, so many of them were Wii U, Donkey Kong. So many games that were on the Wii U got ported to the Switch, and more people got to enjoy them. And overall, that's like a totally positive thing. But for me, when it came to like having the complete collection on my shelf, um, it got to a point where it just felt completely redundant. And I wasn't excited to play the games on my Wii U anymore. And part of that is lifestyle change because now I have a 1.5-year-old son. So having the ability to play something portable is so helpful right now because, and that's something that never was the case. I always was like, kind of like, would like turn my nose up at like needing to play games portably. I was like, why would you do that if you have the option to play it on a TV, That's so different for me now because like, bro, when I'm like holding my son for like a 2-hour nap time, like being able to have like the Switch in my lap, and like being able to play it that way, that helps a lot. Or like when I'm so dead tired that I can hardly like keep my eyes open, but like I can lay in bed with my Switch and just play for like 20 minutes even, like as long as I can just like stay awake. That is a big help. So I did part with my Wii U set. Super hard, super painful. I still will always have a soft spot for the Wii U. And at the same time, like, it was time to let it go. I still think it's an amazing system to collect for because you can have a complete collection, because it's Nintendo, because it didn't sell very well. It's hard to find a lot of the stuff. Like, in the same way that Dreamcast, it's hard to find, like, if you want to collect Dreamcast, it's like, you can't find Dreamcast games. You go to stores, I know this because I tried for a long time. I gave up on Dreamcast collecting, but I was like well over 100 games in at the time that I did give up. And it's not like you can find all the games. They're just expensive the way it is with a lot of other systems. It's like, no, you go into game stores and it's like they have like 10 Dreamcast games and they're all the common ones that you always see, and that's if they have those ones. And it's just like crazy. It's similar with the Wii U. It's they only sold like what, 13 million consoles, so like the number of games that they sold is just small, it's just not as many. So for some people, I think that it will be a fun system to continue to collect for. The game store seemed pretty excited about getting my collection. I sold the whole thing in one fell swoop. So I wasn't gonna part it all out one game at a time or anything like that, but I would like to have a complete set of something else at some point in my life. The consoles that I think of, for wanting complete sets at this point are generally cartridge consoles. I would love to have a complete NES set. I would love to have a complete Super Nintendo set. Both of those sets are huge, and there's a lot of really expensive heavy hitters. So the likelihood of that is pretty small, to be honest. Like, I mean, I can collect for like the next probably 30 or 40 years of my life. I don't plan to ever stop collecting entirely. At the same time, I think the Nintendo 64 might be a more likely possibility. I've lately been getting really nostalgic for the N64, and I've been getting into the N64, and I'm finding that there's just a lot on that system that I really enjoy from that generation of gaming. Is just kind of like my heart, 5th generation. Love it, hate it. For me, it's the generation that turned me into a gamer, and it speaks to me in a very special, unique way. So maybe it'll be an N64. I don't know. I'm letting the dust settle. I picked up some heavy bangers that were in my last pickups video, if you'd like to see those. So some really nice heavy hitters that I've been wanting for a long time, so especially in the Zelda series. All right, so anyways, this is the story of me going through my collecting journey with the Wii U, finally coming to a point where I let it go. And now the next game that I need to buy for my Switch is Xenoblade Chronicles X, because I'll be playing that game on my Switch and not on the Wii U, which is kind of sad, and at the same time makes complete sense, and it just is what it is. And I am glad that those games got bigger audiences. I just wish that people had more understanding of how good the Wii U actually was. The Wii U was not a crap console. It was not by any means a crap console. there have been so many times where I've seen people treat it so unfairly. Like, I'll never forget watching a video where somebody was bitching about how they couldn't take the gamepad to the bathroom and game with it there because you couldn't take it super far. And I'm like, oh yeah, like the way that you take your PS4 or Xbox One controller or 360 or PS3 controller to the bathroom and play from there. Yeah, right. Yeah, like you do that, right? It's like they gave us something that was so awesome. Like, it was so cool having my Wii U, and like I'd be sitting in the living room playing on the TV. If my wife came in and wanted to use the TV, I'm like, oh yeah, cool, no problem. Clip. And now I'm just like sitting here gaming right here while she's watching the TV. I'm like, I can't do that on any of my other consoles. And people are like acting like it's some joke, like it's some horrible thing. I'm like, this is all pre-Switch, by the way. You know, it's like, this had never been done. It was groundbreaking. It was amazing. Not to mention some of the games where you would like, you know, play using the gamepad. Like, it was so cool playing Zelda Twilight Princess on the gamepad and like having all of my items right there. You know, like that was incredible. People just really missed out, and gamers dropped the ball when it came to the Wii U. That's my personal opinion, and that is not a popular one, but I don't really give a damn because it's the truth. I found it, and I wasn't even a Nintendo fan, so all you had to be doing was keeping your eyes open and walking through a GameStop or a Best Buy, and you should have been a fan of the Wii U, so that's what it is. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I got all fired up. The Wii U hits my heart. It does. I'm passionate about that console, and even though I've let my collection of it go, I still will always love the Wii U. All right, peace. Have a good one. Jebber Game and Jaws, out.